Hello, everyone. Let's see. I'm going to see if I'm up. Yes, I am up already. How are you all doing? This is Sherry. Welcome to my quilting world. And today is Sew and Talk Tuesday, where we get to talk, we get to chat, maybe work on something, share our thoughts with each other, see what's been going on. I see Melanie's here, and I welcome you, Melanie. Thanks for coming. And Lisa will be here. I mean, she's in a meeting, so she will not be here. But I'll just give it a minute or so and we'll see what happens. And I'm just kind of working on a paper piece project. I had been doing these out of my tiny little scraps. Hi, Christina. Welcome to the chat. Thank you. I decided I'm going to do a little bit of that. I did just get done sewing that. I don't know if has anybody not paper pieced or have paper pieced? Well, I really appreciate that, Melanie. And I will talk to you. Christine's joined us too. So how you doing? What are you up to today? I know you've been busy and your kids have gone back to school and stuff like that. So yeah, if anybody has, have you all paper pieced before? Mona's here. Hi, Mona. Welcome. I think everybody feels like I do today. I'm moving slow today. I think what it is, it's after having 4 nights in a row, waking up at 2:30 in the morning. It's kind of catching up with me. So it's like, oh, but I'm not the only one that's in the same boat, because I'll go on Discord in the morning and there'll be other people up to not being able to sleep. So, okay, Christina, you have a little bit. Yeah, this is just, there is no special pattern other than I just printed this off. It was a free thing. And I thought, and I could do different sizes. I could go up bigger if I needed to in size, but I wanted to do the little ones. How I'm going to finish them off, I'm not sure. Mug rugs, little frames, I'm not sure, little sashing. But yeah, when you start your paper piecing, you're actually putting your fabric on the back side of your papers. You sew from this side where you can see the lines. And they have them numbered. So I put number 1 in, and then I did number 2. And then you want to make sure you oversize it enough that it'll fit within the space. And then I can take this and trim it down. And I like to use a little, it can be an index card or whatever to lay on my line. And then I'll fold it over, lay it on that line and fold it over. Then I'll take my add a quarter. This is add a quarter. It has a little lip on it, but if you don't have one, you can use a regular ruler and just go to the quarter mark. And I just put it down and I trim. Now, there's times that you will forget and you'll trim it without having your add a quarter ruler down. Then it's like, oh no. You know what? The small ones, they're not hard. You just, my first piece, I took a glue stick and I stuck it down. And I folded my little pieces just, each section I folded them a little bit. But like now I did A2, so I need to do A3, which is up here. So I'll lay my card on that line and I'll fold this back. And you can see that, I hope you can see, I'm going to get a real good view today, but there's a little excess. See, I almost cut that. And you trim. No, I think what's complicated is that I'm gearing myself up because I had gotten a legit kit and I have the hummingbird, and I think what it is with that kit is there's a lot of pieces in it. Okay, that's one thing, but it's not that they just have the numbers, like I'm just going to say A1, B2, whatever. That tells you what fabrics they're using and what goes next. But on their background, they have the circles and the numbers, and it's like it confuses me a little bit, but I think I just have to do one. I've done it before. I just have to do one and suck it up and try it, because they say the ones that do them say that they're really good. And then I had Donna from Handmade by Ying had been downsizing or destashing, and so she sold some of her legit kits, and I got it's called Sophia, the sewing machine. I want to do that. Now that doesn't intimidate me so much, but the hummingbird's big. That does more. So let's see. So I don't think there is a difference. I think it depends on how many angles and complex it is. If you just follow each step, it's good. I know that different people have different designers have a different way. And so you're doing the same concept, but they will print it off on the papers a little different. So, but this is my play. I can do this without really thinking a lot. That's pretty bad, isn't it? I can't think today. I have Melanie, you've never done foundation paper piecing. Well, if you've ever took even a square of fabric or a square of stabilizer, have you ever sewn strips of fabric onto it? And each strip you press out and sew the next one on? That's a form of foundation paper piecing. It's freestyle and that, but what foundation paper piecing is anything that has a foundation under it, and that foundation could be fabric, it could be interfacing, distance paper. If it's interfacing in fabric, you don't take it out. But when you're doing things like this or a lot of pieces, then definitely use the foundation paper. And you can buy the foundation paper, but was it Sheila or Jessica? I can't remember which one it was. They had gone to the dollar store and got the scratch pads for children. Same exact thing. You rip it out and put it in your printer and print out your things. So that's a very inexpensive way to do, because sometimes when you're doing them, you need another copy because you've made a mistake. You can tape these and resew again. So let me see. I think I said hi to Mona. I hope you found your 1/8 inch zipper tape, fusible tape, yesterday. You were funny. Just listening to you yesterday. It was I know that you weren't having much fun at that point trying to find it, but I hope you found it. And let me see. Melanie says is a small, which I answered that foundation paper piece harder to do than a larger. The concept's the same. No, you're working with small fabrics, but you can cut the size you want and trim it then. And Rita's here. Hi, Rita. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you. I was going to ask you, you were going to try something. Weren't you, Rita? Last time we talked, you were going to try something that I had said, and I can't remember what it was. If you remember, let me know if it turned out work for you. Oh, printing labels on satin, on ribbon. And Rita says that for her, I don't know why it's not showing her. It says for her, the smaller is easier for her. I know that you can bring it right up to you that way. Hi, Zaza. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're feeling better. She says hi to everyone. And now Lori's here, quilting in the country. Welcome, Lori. Thanks for joining us. We're just chatting a little bit. Cutie Katie quilt. What's that, Mona? Let me see. Mona says, I did the elephant. It was my first. Okay, foundation paper piecing. You did the big elephant? Wow. Do you like foundation paper piecing, Mona? I do. I just need to bite the bullet and go into that other one. I think I'll do the sewing machine first. That's less intimidating because the size and that. Let me see. Rita has said that the double star foundation paper piece she did, oh my Lord, has 266 pieces in each section. I found it amazing to do. Well, it would be, did it tell you what colors to use, or were you able to choose color tones that you wanted in that? Because that'd be fun, to audition them and do that. Wow, you have to show that again, unless I'll look and see if you have it on your channel, because I'd like to see that again. And yeah, Lori, at first when you're doing this, it can be because you're thinking backwards. It's like, here's the front of your paper and you're going to sew on these lines, but your fabric is going to go in the back. So that means that the first fabric is pretty side up, the other one's right side down. And then when you go over, you stitch it in that. And yeah, you can make some mistakes. That's why that if you're concerned, sometimes you can do an extra copy and have it on hand. And like I said, you can use tape. But once you get in the rhythm of that, you have to section this off, allow enough fabric, section it off, trim it down, then go on to your next piece. You're pretty good. And then, of course, you have to sew these together. This represents the 1/4-inch seam on the outside. So let me see. Rita says she just do not. Oh, okay. Let me see. Do you do the freezer paper method with that, Rita, I think you said that you did. I do not sew through the paper. That is the biggest difference in paper piecing. Okay. Melissa, hi, welcome. Glad to have you here today. Mona, it was in the trash. That's where you thought. That was your first instinct, is that it was in the trash. I know. I would do the same thing. Same thing had happened to me. And it does drive you nuts when you can't find something and you're looking for it, and even that that you just put it somewhere. It might be someplace, like you said, when you reorganize. Yeah, that happens. Oh, yeah, me too. Sometimes I do too. I think we get so busy and we're working and concentrating on what we're doing, and we set something down, or we're in this area and we work on it. Now, I'll have to tell you about this one thing I'm going to talk about too. And that's how it gets misplaced on things. And, it could be in 1 of 3 places in my house up here. So, Melanie, it's, I am not using it today, but if you have a light box, you can see the fabric. But you can use a window, or you can put it up to your sewing machine light. I can put it up here. I know that see how you see the shadow of the fabric? Well, I can see the lines. So if I was going to choose another piece of fabric, let's see, what do I want? You audition it, make sure that it's going to fit there. And this just barely, so I would go with a bigger piece. And so this is my A1 and A2. So those are my first 2 fabrics. Lay this here. Have them out. Now the A3 will go here, and I did do a crease line, so I know that goes across there. Wonder if that one does. Did I get enough on this one? I'm looking, I'm checking, because yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So then would be my seam allowance. Put the fabric face down on top of the other. Get it angled just right. I normally do use my light box. I'm making sure I have a 1/4 inch in there. Watch me mess up. And then, and when you do your sewing, have your stitches length down. Mine's at 1.4 because when you rip off the paper, it doesn't rip the seams. And then we'll go ahead and trim that. And what else about the seam that I was thinking, the thread? Yeah, and you can use a different needle too. You'll be changing your needle after that. So see, now listen, it's done. I can finger press it. But I bought this handy dandy roller. I'm going to try it out. Ooh, this is good. It works. And then I have this, and see, I have all this extra. So I was on the 3. I'll just go show you real quickly here. Then I won't keep you going on this unless you have questions. Now I'm going to trim And I like to go back through and look and trim the other blocks that I have done, because they will go over into the, after a while you get too much bulk, you know. And it's nice because when you do this, you have a guideline to put your next fabric piece on that's 1/4 of an inch, and so you're good. Okay, now I'll show you here this in a sec. Now this one will have another piece here, so it'll cover this little piece here, but see, and that's been trimmed. And then the next piece that they want me to put on is the one up here. Then I'll go on over here. And I do hope that I did get that. Yes, I did. Yes. I cut it close. But I like to use a little rotary cutter. You can use the regular rotary cutters, but this is a 28mm, and I guess it's because it's the first time I ever did it. I used it. Now you're going to have fabric waste, but if you're using your scraps and that, you don't care too much. So now let's see. I think that scares me is the flipping over the paper to sew. Just keep your finger, like you put it on like this, like let's say that was loose. And then I just go like this. And my hand's still on it. I can bring it on over to my machine. Now it's on my machine bed and it's holding it down that way. And I can sew. You could do a tiny, the first piece, it's not bad doing a piece of glue, but it's washable glue. Probably in the seam line you could, but just hang on. Oh, and you can pin. You have flathead pins. I think I have some here. Now this is pretty big for this, but these are nice, the flathead pins. So if I had another piece that I wanted to put on here, I would just, I'm trying to get my, okay. I would go ahead and I could take this, and it's number 4. I put it, sorry, there. That's got to hold back. Then I would put this on. And if I needed to, I'm going to make sure I have enough going out this way. Okay. And then I could use my pin to pin it. And see, now it holds that fabric on. But you always want to make sure that you got enough that, like with this, I have to have enough to not only get this area, but I need to have it come out here because this is my seam allowance. So it has to be bigger or as big as my seam allowance. And but see, now that's hanging on, and I can sew that. And let's see how let's see if I did it right. I leave the papers on till I'm ready to sew it together, and then you can take the part that is your seam allowance off. Let's see, where's my scissors? I bet you I cut that too short. Maybe not. Nope. Now see, now I'll just fold that. I can give it a little tummy rub. This is the front of the paper that I sew on. This is the back. So what I can do is I can trim it from the last line this way. But see how it's Isn't that interesting? See, I think I kind of cool. Now that's using little bitty scraps. So let me see. Yes, Melanie, you can sew next to the paper. You don't, yes, that's what Rita does. You don't have to sew through it if you don't want to. That way you're saving your paper too. I just take a little block. They have free printables. I do one and take some of your scraps and play with it. And I see Terry's here. Hi, so Terry. The big Mona, you're brave. The big one was your first one. Did you find it was a little bit difficult at the beginning and then you got into the rhythm of it? Yes. Foundation paper piecing is more precise because you can see that this has the points. You get the points exactly when you're doing this. It gives you a chance to where you're supposed to have the points. And that's where, like, people that do the New York Beauty, which Brenda from I think you guys know. Oh, why did Conquering Mount Scrapmore? Um, she had been doing, and still is, I think, a New York Beauty block, and it's foundation paper piecing. And each week, she starts out with the more of a basic one, and she graduates on as they get harder. But New York beauties are paper pieced projects. You did your own pattern. Oh no, you're so creative, Rita. Let's see. There is no pattern. I made my own pattern. Wow. Did you have that on did you have that on your channel? Mona had chose similar colors, ran out and picked my own again. Good for you. And so Terry loves doing foundation paper piecing. If you like it, oh, I don't ever sew my papers. I wonder if I should try that. Just to try it and see which way I prefer. I guess I didn't think about it. Okay. Mona says she would not sew through papers again. I hate sewing through paper. It even worse tearing it out. You're right. I'm gonna try this next. Will be not sewing through the paper because tearing it out is a pain. And then I have to tell you, you kind of like pull these and you pull this, get little tweezers out with those tiny little pieces. So I think that's a good idea that that Rita and I think it's Terry and Mona have about you sewing right next to it, the paper. That is a very good idea. And I'm going to try that. Hi, watching in the bushes on TV. Can't chat though. I've done that. I've watched on TV and you can't get the chat. How you doing, Ellen? And they're saying hello. And Deb's here. Hi, Deb. Glad to see you here. We're just chit-chatting about foundation paper piecing. Yes, you did, Terry. I thought you were doing that with Brenda. That was a really good series that she had for the New York Beauty to do. And then you're also going to end up dealing with curves at the same time. later when you put it together, which is nice. So it's a good one to learn on too. I'd like to see it. You post that. And then Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki. Glad to see you here. Welcome. And let's see. Okay, Terry has a couple of videos on her channel showing that she is not sewing through the papers on the foundation papers. I'm gonna end up watching them, and I would suggest you do too, especially if you're new and the paper intimidates you. Go and try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm curious. And let's see, I really want to try out that new quilt braid paper roll that Fat Quarter Shop came out with. It makes a long braid strip you can use on borders. But then your tape is like adding machine tape type thing, and I'll have to check that out too. Well, I'm going to check out Terry's video, her channel. Oh, if you want, go ahead and drop your channels. It's just type share. And if you type share, it'll drop your channel link. And so anyhow, I was just playing with this today, and thought I'd do a little bit of this. I'll kind of organize my space a little bit here for a second. Now, remember I was working on the share, and you got it. I was working on a couple weeks ago, and then in Discord on our sews and that, I was working on this cat, this table banner. I'm going to pull up a picture so you can see it. I got done with it. I pre-motioned it on my sewing machine, and I haven't done that for a while. Couldn't find my regular open toe foot, so I was using a Trapunto. So that kind of wants to push the fabric, but overall, when it's all said and done, it doesn't seem to be making a difference. Let's see if I can get it to come up here. There you go. There's my little kitty. I put green button eyes on it. Okay, your channels are dropping. That's good. Yeah, this is from Shabby Fabrics. It's banner I get once a month for like 12 months. I'll do. I don't know if they'll have something different after the end of the year. As far as holiday, they're themed. So, they started in January, and I just did this, and it's the first one I did. They had some tiny little pieces, but I had, let me see if I can reach it. Out of the box. Oh, here, let me remove this. Out of the box, I had all this fabric left. That's quite a bit of fabric. And you can make they had the backing. The only thing I had to add to it was batting, and that was scrap batting. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, I like to do little things like that. It's down in my kitchen. I put it down there, and so I can change this out every month. And I got this at the stand through Amazon. But they have a little hanging sleeve, and this has a slit in here, so you can slide your sleeve on. But if you didn't want to do themed ones, you could get one of these and do your orphan blocks and do up a little quilt yourself. Thanks, Lori. So I did that, and then last week I wanted to show you this picture too. Let's see what I want to show you. Oh, this is the one that I think I might have done it on Discord. This is the block swap I had done. That was Donna had coordinated. And let me see, how many blocks was there? 12? 2, 3, 4. 2. There was 20 blocks. And so we each did them. And so I just put fabric in between it. I might have shown this last week. If I did, forgive me, okay? I got cobwebs in my head today. But anyhow, they're from different people that has made them, and they signed them. And right where my little dog is the you see the hexagon? That's Zaza. She did that one. So there's Donnell is in there, and Donna, and different ones are in there that they had done. We could do any blocks that we wanted. We just had to have the white on white background. Now, then I was in my sewing room. She always helps. Her and Mona's dog are twins, Lacey, and they're both named Lacey. They look just alike, just exactly alike. Probably act alike too. And yeah, I have a quilt down on the floor. I put it on down to what she's got to go. She's got to go down there. I lay my batting out to because I get it in the roll to cut it, and she's just lays there. She doesn't rip anything up or anything like that, but she has to put her scent on it. She has to be part of it. Okay, so then I decided I have a few containers in here of projects that I hadn't finished. And these are projects that I hadn't finished not recently. It could have been 5 to 10 years because I pulled them out from somewhere to bring them in here to do. Well, there was one and I looked at it and I thought, you know what? This looks like the quilt top is about put together. I'm going to take a look at it. The quilt top was put together. The only thing it needed was the borders. Now it's blues, but it turns out looking like blacks here. And what was weird is that I thought is that they have a light blue on the outer border. The borders were already cut. I already had them cut. I would have changed it today. I would have put a lighter border on the inside and had the floral darker on the outside. But I thought it would look odd to change that in the size, have the wide border and on the inside and the narrow on the outside. I might be wrong, but anyhow, so that's what I did. Now I got a question to ask you guys. Have any of you heard or seen the videos? I came across it when you get up at 2:30 in the morning. You do some surfing on YouTube. Thank you. Oh, if anybody wants to know the name of that pattern, I did pull it out of the trash because I wasn't going to do it again. It is called Blue Palace, and it's by Clothworks. I don't know if Clothworks is still on or not, but it was a free pattern. But the picture does not do it justice. It's very pretty with the fabrics, the blues. I like the blues. Hey, Tasha, how you doing? Oh, I wanted to know, like I said, when you're not sleeping, you start surfing a lot. Have you guys heard about people having what they call a house purse that they use in the house? It's not, we have a purse that we take out, to the car with us and things like that. And we when we travel, we have the little travel bags. That now I thought this would be at first. I thought, and then I started thinking, may not be a bad idea. So, what they do is, you know how you're at your recliner or your um couch and things like that, and you're relaxing, and you may be working on something. You need If you're working on a project, you may need a little bit of your project if it was handwork and your scissors or something like that. But some might have their phone. I'm going to show you this. This is similar to what they talked about. I had a project bag. This has my little scraps in it. Okay. And then there's stuff in there, and there's pockets in there. What they do is they put their stuff, like a lot of people who journal or Bible study, they'll put that in there. They'll put their journal, they'll put their writing pad, they'll put their pens, they'll put their markers, they'll put their cell phone. I mean, it was like they'll do hand lotion, chapstick, anything you could think of, your glasses, something that you would carry from one room to another. All you have to do is you put it away in that bag, and you pick it up and you go into your next room. Well, you have it if you need it. Tylenol. I don't know if you've heard of it. No inside purse. I know. I thought it was like, and then I started thinking, boy, I do have things, but you know what? It'll be just another thing. But I thought it was an interesting. Um, it, I watched enough of them that some of them intrigued me. At first, I thought, oh, this is stupid, but I think it, certain things, like I do EPP, so I can put my little things in there to do it, or if I wanted to work on it, and it doesn't have to be. It might be my headphones. I have headphones. I might keep my headphones in there. So if I'm in this room, I have my headphones. If I'm in the family room, I have them. If I'm down in the bedroom, I have them. What other things? Glasses, books that they're reading. Um, you carry your remote control around with you. Mona says, yeah, I have enough bags laying around. I know. I thought about your little bags. That'd be nice. That's what to slip in one of those if that's the case. We may need to make a house fanny pack bags. Yeah. I just thought it was really interesting to, like, okay, it seems to be more like people who did a lot of journaling because they needed to have their markers and their stickers and their post-it notes and all the paraphernalia or ephemera that went with that so they could work on it. Melanie says, I use a walker and made and used a caddy, but I got tired of it. I just set my purse on the seat. I didn't know you used a walker, Melanie. Now, that's a good idea, Mona, project bags, because you might be working on one thing and you could keep all your supplies for that in that area on that basket, or you might be doing, something else. Of course, you can carry your snacks around with you, you can put that in the project basket. Hi, Cynthia. Okay, Cynthia, tell us about your house purse. She says sometimes it's a bag and sometimes it's a basket or a box. I just didn't know it had a name. Yes, I've done it with the laundry basket in my car, and when I would go to the guild meetings, I'd take the laundry basket out and put all my stuff, extra stuff in other than my sewing machine, in that laundry basket. And then I could carry the laundry basket into the guild meeting, and I could load everything back up, put it in there, and carry it back out. That worked out good. Let me see. I'm reading Mona's. I got to go back up here a second. Yeah, it's called a house purse or a house basket. So Terry made her daughter a large tote for her. Yeah, that's what they're doing too. They're doing totes to carry what she needs from floor to floor. That's exactly what that is. She can carry her laptop. Yep. And all the goodies up and down 3 floors in her house. Yeah. They do their iPad, their might be their computer, your charging cords. If you could, keep them in there. So that way it's like, oh, I need to charge this. Well, you got it. You have what you need there. So I think that is for people that have multiple floors that it really I shove stuff in my pockets, brought everything I need to carry up to put away. Everything I can. I think that comes from having kids. You learn how to carry a lot in your hands. Um, Let me see. She said, and Mona says she had um, a snack tote hanging from her bedpost. I walk a lot in my house. Yes, I have severe back issues. So I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I do too. I put stuff in my bra to carry if I have to. Stuff that no one else would be touching, but next to my recliner, I have 3-drawer end table full of crap. Yeah, but that's nice. And it's like I have an end table and I got my little stuff all over it. And all I do is it's like you'd have that special thing and then you would still put more stuff along with that special thing. Prep for eternity. Hi, it's Jennifer, I think. Trying to remember her name. Melanie likes your idea about the bedpost bag. Yeah, it's Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. How you doing? Okay, sometimes that crap can be our gold. That's true. That's true. That's true. My husband and I were having a conversation. He says, "You are your dad through and through. You like gadgets. You like stuff." I says, "Now, John, because I get this stand for this iPhone, this stand does something else, another thing does this." I says, "You're a musician. How many different chords do you have? How many different things do you have for music?" I says, "There's no difference, just a different hobby." I says, "And it's me, not you." Oh, loosey goosey. Well, now Mona gave you a good idea, Sylvia. You can go ahead and you can have that in your nightstand. Melissa says that TJ Maxx has tons of giant, cute shopping bags that might match your house. I have one. I've been carrying my hand binding quilt up and down the stairs with thread and needles. Yeah, you do need that if you want to work in different areas. I have so many totes. Cynthia is guilty of putting her cell phone just under her bra, facing outwards. So, okay. Yep. that could happen, you know. If you have it in your back pocket, you butt dial, so you just never know. EPP called in her strawberry. Yeah, I know, that was funny, huh? Mermaid cats in light blue. Yeah, this spell checker always just keeps on doing me. So anyhow, what do I today? I got that one quilt that I've been doing some custom on. Um, I got the last border and just the applique to do around the um with that's within the border, and that'll be done. And then of course I got a couple more coming in, and I'd like to do some of mine. I'm gonna be practicing my free motion and ruler work. I ended up doing some ruler work. I mean, you can't see it; it's stitched in the ditch, but I had to use the ruler, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good, and I want to do. Well, I will be doing some more free motion on my sewing machine because the projects that are tiny, you don't put on your long arm, and that'll be good for me to practice back up. It's like I couldn't do those swirls at first, and then I thought, but I could do a feather. I guess it just depends on what's stuck in your brain. I must have. Okay. Oh, hi, Lisa. You're missing out on some conversation here. We're going to have to get you Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Yeah, if you have the foot, the ruler foot, and you have a base, it wasn't bad. You just take your time, go slow enough that, that you have control of, you have your hand near where the machine head or hopping foot is. You watch your fingers, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I want to do some that has, well, that one quilt I just showed you guys, the sampler. I'm thinking about instead of just doing it all over. I mean, or anything like that. I think I'll take each block and do something different in it, and then I can hone my skills up a little bit more. Do some more complicated um, work as I get going. At first, it'll be meander. It'll be something easy. Yep. Tasha, she is our fellow worker and lurker. I'm surprised. She's got a busy week this week. Very busy. So, anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit with you what was going on and what I was doing. And I'm going to take a nap, I think. I need a nap. Anybody else? So anyhow, I'm going to get off. I just want to say, I know I'm a little early, but just want to say thank you for letting me talk, listening to me, telling you all different things that are weird. But I'm going to go watch Terry's video on the foundation paper piecing. I'm going to go back and look at Rita, the Crystal Dragon. I'm going to look at hers to see if it's on her channel, which I think it is. Tasha, yeah, you take a nap, Tasha. Those kids are in school. You deserve to have a nap before they come home. Yeah, we could all take a nap. Oh, you have to. Oh, you have hummingbirds, Nikki. I love them, but you you gotta work. You gotta feed them. Let me see, Melanie, Sherry. I have a ruler base and rulers, but never use them. I recently rigged up my cutie frame with a foam board and a cat laser. soon I will do pantographs. Oh, you'll like doing pantographs. Um, you know what's nice about those is that it helps with the muscle memory. You'll find that if you do that same pattern before you're done, that'll be, you could do it without it. That's what ends up happening is that if it's a flower and leaves, you're doing it and you advance your quilt and then you do it and you advance your quilt and then you feel like, hey, I think I can do this without that. It really gives your muscle memory. Oh, thanks, Melissa. I'm glad. I'm sorry that I feel like I'm cheating you guys today, but eh, not giving you a little bit more, but oh, your boss. Oh, I forgot. Yes, you're a lurker too, huh? Oh, you know what they're called? Work, work, workling, work, lurking. I was trying to put work and lurk together the other day. Yeah, boys outgrow their naps. Yeah, you're welcome, Melanie. And we'll see you, Tasha, Mona, and everyone. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I'll see you around the corner. Bye.